Hey guys, today's episode is brought to you by GlowFX. GlowFX was my first brand partnership back on my channel in 2017, and we've been partnered together ever since. They have been my go-to company for rave gear. I personally love my Rave diffraction glasses and my Pixel goggles, but they are also very well known for all of their flow toys. So you guys can pick up their space whip, levitation wand, gel gloves, or LED orbits, just to name a few things. And if you guys shop at GlowFX using the link down below in the show notes, you can use code EMMAK for 10% off your orders. That's code EMMAK for 10% off your orders at GlowFX. Happy shopping, you guys.
This is bringing the world together.
Right.
And it's one of the most incredible experiences ever.
Hey there, welcome to Rave Culture Cast, your weekly guide to the EDM community, music festivals, and more, hosted by me, Emma Capotis. Each week, I'll be covering everything from dance music culture, industry news, trending topics, and festival tips, advice, and reviews. You can also expect to hear stories from ravers, artists, business owners, and more. Tune in every Wednesday for your weekly dose of peace, love, unity, and respect. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Rave Culture Cast, your weekly guide to the EDM community, music festivals, and more. I'm your host, Emma Capotis. What is up, fam? How are we feeling this week? I am so excited for today's episode. You guys, we're going to be chatting about a whole bunch of things. I got a good friend on today who, he should have been on this podcast a long time ago, if I'm honest about it, but it's going to be a really fun, casual conversation. So just sit back, pretend like you're in the room with us, chatting with your friends, grab a snack, grab a drink, wherever you're listening from. But no, I hope you're having an amazing day so far and a really great week. Before we dive into things, I wanted to do a quick shout out to one of our listeners, Damo, who just underwent heart surgery. He's an amazing member of this community, super supportive. So I just wanted to wish him a speedy recovery, and I hope you're doing well. And we're sending you lots of hugs and prayers, Domo. So hope you are feeling better soon. Quickly, you guys, if you're new here, welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited to have you. Today's episode we're going to be talking primarily about Tomorrowland. We're going to chat a lot about the differences between American raves and festival culture versus European festival culture. So that's going to be really fun. And honestly, this episode was kind of sparked because we obviously just received news that Tomorrowland, unfortunately, is canceled for the second time in a row, which was not news that anybody wanted to hear. So it's really unfortunate that that's what happened. But, Tomorrowland is arguably the biggest festival in the world, and I know a lot of people love it, and it's a lot to prepare for. So I have my good friend Andrew Zimmerman on today. He's a Tomorrowland stan, so he's going to talk a little bit about his experience, the ticket purchasing process, camping options, and he's just going to share a ton of information about what the culture and festival is like there. So that's kind of what you guys are in for today. We also talk a little bit about his raving story. Andrew loves trance music, so we're going to talk a little bit about the trance fam and all that fun stuff. So that's what's in store for you guys. Quickly, before we dive into things, I just want to remind you that we have so many incredible places you can connect with Rave Culture Cast. We have our community Facebook group, and we have a Discord server, so you guys can have conversations around the clock and meet other ravers. Those will be very active, especially during the fall festival season. When I start planning meetups and all that good stuff, we'll be posting in those groups. If you enjoy the podcast, it would mean so much to me if you guys could share this to your Instagram stories and tag at raveculturecast. I really appreciate you spreading the word about the podcast. Rating and reviewing on iTunes is another really big thing you can do. So thank you so much for your support on everything. All right, with all that being said, I kind of just want to dive into everything today because we have a lot to talk about. So please join me in welcoming my good friend, Andrew Zimmerman, to the podcast. All right, you guys, we are back. I have a very special guest today. I'm surprised I haven't had you on the podcast yet, Andrew, but I'm so excited you're here. He's a part of the Rave fam, Lunchbox team member, all of the things. Andrew, welcome to the podcast. Please introduce yourself.
You just did it pretty well.
Yeah.
My name is Andrew Zimmerman. I'm one of the owners at Lunchbox. Of course, also we are now members of Rave fams together. I've been to our fair share of shows together. So it's been a blessing. And thanks again for having me on the channel. We're also tri-state fams. So born and raised Long Island, New York, been living in the city since about 2016 and raving a couple of years before then. But I assume we're gonna dive into that as well.
Yeah, we're going to get the whole story today because we're going to tackle a couple topics today, you guys. I feel like this is going to just be a casual conversation. We're going to chat raving stories. I want to know like your festival schedule, all of that good stuff. And then we're going to chat specifically about Tomorrowland because Andrew has been, and we got a couple questions, and obviously the news of the event unfortunately being canceled again for a second year in a row, which was not fun. So we're just going to dive into that and just discuss it because I did a Tomorrowland episode about a year ago and people were really, really excited about it. Jose was my guest. So we're going to dive into all that stuff. But yeah, tell us your raving story. How did you get into the scene?
Yeah. So it happened in college. I was, that guy listening to old school rap at the gym. And then I had a friend, Mike Piro at the time, who was just obsessed with DJing. And this was around like 2011 where it wasn't as mainstream, or at least I feel like it's not as mainstream as it was today. Like you really weren't hearing too much EDM on the radio in general, and no one really knew anything about it, at least in the circles that I was in. And he had like this DJ deck, and he was absolutely obsessed with Armin van Buuren. Armin's still a GOAT in my eyes. Granted, he's changed a little bit, but he was a roommate in a house of 12 people. So we had 12 guys, a cat and a dog in college. It's as disgusting as you can imagine. Like actually, probably worse, a little worse than you're also picturing. But
oh my God.
He came to Cortland, which I went to in upstate New York, our junior year. He transferred. So he wasn't there for the first two. So we had this DJ just come in who was a friend of a friend in our house, and he ended up getting a DJ gig, we'll call it, at a bar that was the basement of the main bar in Cortland. So you had Dark Horse Tavern, which everyone went to, $5 cover, which was might as well $100 in college, and then Great Bar, which was $1, and no one ever went. No one ever went. And they're like, you know what? Like, let's do something different. And then he was able to DJ there. And then over like the next 2 years, like all those other songs and like Avicii started like blowing up in the US, and everyone started getting into EDM and going into Great Bar. And we just started slowly making it almost into like a rave cave. And that was like the very beginning of when I transitioned away from like listening to rap and hip hop almost to entirely EDM. And then I saw like Deadmau5 for the first time for like New Year's. I think it was like 2012. Yeah.
Sealed the deal. Yeah. That is crazy. Oh, yeah. So you were into trance a little bit in the beginning, right? Yeah. And where are you at now? Who are some favorite artists?
Still trance.
Yeah.
It has changed. Armin, like I think up until 2017, Armin was at the very top. That definitely changed over time. I think as I got older, I still like listening to hard stuff, but Above and Beyond has really touched me in a different way than I don't think it did when I was younger. So I essentially put Above and Beyond at the top of my list now because something about their music feels timeless. Like I could listen to that and when I'm 60, but I won't be like, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's like, get out of here.
Right.
So Above and Beyond, Paul Van Dyke. We all know we share the same intense love for Eric Pritz. Some past times, like I was a huge fan of like Swedish House Mafia and stuff like that in the very beginning, but I've also taken like a turn for psytrance and techno over the last couple of years as well. I have a good Charlotte DeWitt story. It ties into the Tomorrowland conversation.
Oh, okay. I'm excited for that. I love seeing the evolution too. Cause that's why I was excited to have Andrew on as well. Cause I know like a lot of times people ask for me to talk more about trance and a lot of like hard style too. Cause I don't cover that too much, but the trance community is just like such, I don't know. They're so dedicated. They're so loyal. And I don't know. There's just something about trance that's really special, especially when you see it live. So I'm right there with you with Above and Beyond, Seven Lions, all good. Yeah. It's all amazing. But yeah, I love the evolution into definitely more techno. I mean, how do you feel about the scene in New York? Do you feel like you get your fill of enough trance and techno shows?
That's a great question. I would say trance, like never.
Right. Not as often. Yeah.
So there's a funny story. So when I was at my first tech company, Yapo, which was before I was involved in Lunchbox, we went and we brought the company to watch one of our coworkers playing his band at Electric Bowery, which is in East Village. And get an email and it's like a reminder, and it's like Paul Van Dyke is at Brooklyn Mirage. And I rounded up like 12 people from the company, and everyone went, and they were talking about this show for months.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like they still do. Yeah. So
that's so awesome.
Fun. Yeah. But there's not as much trance, but I feel like there's been a lot more techno. There's also Techno Brooklyn in Brooklyn, and they're pretty obviously dedicated to having like a ton of underground like techno shows. So I think there's a solid techno base, but not as much. Trance is always spread out. I feel like.
Yeah, it's not as common.
I just don't get it.
I mean, I know, I don't think you're going this summer, but I know like Brooklyn Mirage announced that huge show with like Cosmic Gate, Tritonal. Yeah.
That one hurt when I saw that.
Yeah.
Kidding me?
They're going to have more though, I think, but I agree with you on that front. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just curious to see the scene in general, because like right now it's just like, whatever, flip a switch and it's just been announcement after announcement every single day. It's like hard to keep up with it, but it's also so nice to see everything coming back.
Everything.
Yeah.
It feels like I almost think of it as like a lockdown sports season, because now you're just packing like an entire season into a schedule so you can have a legitimate playoffs, which will probably be like
This is so true. Yeah. So, we'll be at a lot of shows. If you guys are in the New York area, you'll probably find us at Brooklyn Mirage and Avant-Garde now through the end of time.
100%. If they let me my Mark's LED skin, you'll be able to find me very easily.
Oh, hell yeah. Yes. Ooh, okay. So let's chat festivals too. What was your first festival you did?
So it was actually Electric Zoo. Go figure, right in the backyard. So the way that I went to my first festival, I was still going to shows for a very long time. So when I moved to New York, my first roommate was random in a way, because I made a Facebook post and a kid from high school introduced me to his roommate from St. Louis in Florida. And obviously they were right near Miami. So they were going to like Ultra and they went up to EBC. So they really got into it, like festivals during their college tenure, which you can't really do upstate New York. They're not there.
Right.
So I went to Electric Zoo for the first time and I was like, this is the most insane thing I've ever been a part of. Oh my God. Jose naturally came with me.
What year was this?
Like 2015 or something.
Okay.
Yeah. So Jose came with me naturally, because if if I know I'm about to go on a crazy adventure, I got to hit up Jose first. Not that the big scale is a crazy adventure, but it's a big leap. And we went, and I met just so many great people there. People I still talk to today, because they were the first people I met at festivals. Right. So it's amazing to see like where I was, like the newbie to where I am now. But Electric Zoo to Ultra to Tomorrowland would be like the crazy projection. You will.
That you grew. That's so interesting. I know Electric Zoo is one of those, I feel like I'm going to feel weird not going this year because it's our local event and I've gone like the last few years, but that's a good intro fest. I feel like a lot of people, if you've never done it before, it's a cool experience. And I think the crowd will surprise you.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I would say to anyone who hasn't been to a festival before, not sure how many people watching this haven't been to at least one, or maybe they're dying. You never know. Yeah. If you're dying to go to one and you're nervous, I would say Electric Zoo is great to maybe even go for like one of the days. One, because it's like tight knit and small. So it's not, you can't really get lost there, which we can talk about Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
You're right. It's not like that intense, and people are incredibly friendly. So it's a great first festival for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. I feel like we should just jump into it, because I'm sure a lot of people are excited about this. So yes, what was your first, when did you go? What tickets did you purchase? Like walk us through that whole process and tell us a little bit about your experience.
Yeah. So So this is why I recommend the global journey. So we went, I believe, in 2018, and Tomorrowland had already been on sale for a little bit by this time. For the record, getting tickets to Tomorrowland is one of the hardest things you can ever do. They sell out in minutes, normal tickets. So I found like this global journey package. I was just sitting on my couch and I was like, Jose, dude, we have to go to this festival. I didn't know that much about it. I didn't, it's a festival in Belgium. I wasn't like learning a crazy amount about festivals, like still. And I looked it up. I was like, everyone you could ever imagine is at this thing. And it's people from all around the world. And he's like, dude, that sounds insane. So we did the global journey package. What that includes was a flight, camping, as well as the festival ticket. So they kind of like bundle one package all together. And there's alternatives to the global journey package. So the one that we have today that's been rolled over for the last 9 years at this point. Oh my God. Like I bought it in my 20s. I'm now 30.
I was just going to say, like, little did we fucking know.
Good times. No, I like some gray hairs. I got to fuck out after this. But, so global journey package, we did, we're doing a bus from Amsterdam or a train from Amsterdam. So instead of flying directly in to Belgium and then taking a bus to Boom, we're going to go to Amsterdam beforehand.
So nice.
Be there for a little bit and then take the bus in. And it actually ends up being cheaper. Because they pack in a lot to create that like convenience from the United States. So that's our
Got it. Okay. I wonder too now, because some people were asking questions about this, like part of me thinks it's going to be so obviously extremely difficult to even get in there next year. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of people within the last 2 years are like buying and selling tickets because plans change. And now they're like, well, I can't fucking go now. I'm just going to sell my tickets. So that's the other thing. I maybe it won't be as hard as you think, because the same thing happened with EDC Las Vegas. It moved its dates and a bunch of people were like, well, I'm just going to sell and go in 2022. So maybe you guys might have a chance. We never know. I'm going to try. So we'll see.
You have to. My recommendation. So the way that we had tickets is we had everyone who was interested in going on a Zoom call, and we were fighting to get through the line, because if I can't get in, but for some reason someone gets lucky and gets in even a second time, we're all friends. I'm giving you my credit card number.
Right.
Like I'm giving you all my information. So we had everything from everyone like preloaded, ready to go. So if someone couldn't get in, I got it for you. And we pretty much created like a mini network to brain our chances. And it actually took like, to get all 12 people, I think like 4 to 6 hours.
My God.
Straight. Everyone stayed on. It was
so crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the hype when you get it, it's like when I've never won the lottery, but like
this is what it would feel like. Yeah. Wait, so were those tickets on like, cause obviously there's just the festival tickets, which sell out so quickly. Cause obviously everybody in Europe or, internationally just buys the tickets. So did those go on sale the same day or afterwards?
I believe the global journey goes on sale first.
Oh, right. It's pre-festival ticket drop. Yeah. Okay.
And the other ones. Yeah. So that's why it's just best to lock in. Like a lot of people are also waiting to see if they can just get the normal ones. So some people risk it. And remember, there is a pretty significant difference in cost when you're talking about like bundling something together all at once versus just the festival ticket, which is some odd euros. I'm not good with currency conversions, but
but it's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. And do you recommend camping?
Oh my God. Yeah. I don't think I can go to Tomorrowland without camping. I think that's one of the biggest factors of the experience. And we can dive into that more as well. Yeah.
You were in his global journey was GA camping, right? Did you bring camping stuff?
I think you can actually choose that tier. So believe it or not, like the GA camping is actually it's oddly the one that everyone wants to be at. Because me and Jose did the one where it was like a preset tent for you, which is great. Like, cause you can also, let's just call it, cause there's like Dreamville and all the other stuff, but like different layers to it. If you're in silver, you can go to bronze, but it can't be vice versa. So if you're at the top and like in a cabana or a mansion, which they also have, you can go to all the other campsites, but not not the other way around. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
but
I heard that's more lively as well.
it is.
The GA.
Yeah, because it's a little, grungy. Like people, and you get to also set up your camp spot with your friends while the other ones are preset and assigned. So it's really cool. Like if you're going with a group and we all showed up together, we're all going to go find a plot of land and build our mini village.
So you guys flew with camping gear?
No, not the year we went.
Okay, got it. I was going to say that would be not a deal breaker, but like I would buy one of the ones where it's pre set up, I think.
So that's where I learned there's like this company called like Quenchua or something. Like I've never seen the US, but everyone had it. It's a pop-up tent. You literally unpop it, it pops open, and then you just stake it into the ground, and then it's done in like less than a minute. Yeah.
And then you just bring like a compact pillow and sleeping bag, right? Exactly. Yeah. Call it a day.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. Okay.
And we had a friend in France. So we were going to buy a tent. We were actually just going to send it. We were just going to buy it off. Like he would buy it off the website in Europe and send it to himself. And then we were just going to pay him for the tent. He was going to bring it. So we didn't have to travel with it. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I feel like that's the coolest aspect about it. Cause like if anybody's listening, who's like me, who hasn't done an international event, like I just love that you met so many people from all over the world. It sounds so nice.
No, it's incredible. I've had people stay with me visiting New York after that as well. Like one of our friends, B, who's from France, he came to New York and he stayed at my apartment for a week. And I've had friends like Alita visit like from Canada. So it's been a very cool experience to also like keep those, friendships together.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just in general, like I can imagine your answer, but with it being pushed back 2 years, like from you actually experiencing it and seeing the culture, can you like talk about the gravity of that for people who are like fully not understanding like why that's like such a hit to the dance music community?
Yeah. So in terms of like this, like 2 years away from like,
I can't wrap my head around that tomorrow. Yeah. I mean, Electric Force has been canceled 2 years too, but like it's Tomorrowland. Like I can't handle it.
I will say, I personally believe that Tomorrowland is the biggest definition of what like the deeper meaning behind EDM actually is. Right. Even Insomniac, they create incredible experiences, but they're not about like unification of the world. And that's such like a deeper meaning than you could ever experience at a festival in any country. Right. Because like this is bringing the world together. And it's one of the most incredible experiences ever. One thing for me that I noticed was that like camping next to people from Sweden, Denmark, some like random islands I don't even remember, is when you bring people together, like, and they come for like one specific reason or like some similar common ground, it's insane how similar human beings are. Like in today's day and age, like you can relate to someone instantly the same way you can relate to your next door neighbor. With that being said, like that's a huge missing link to the world in general. In my opinion, not having Tomorrowland 2 years in a row. It's a
great way of putting that. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't even imagine. How are people with you being American? Like, are people okay, or is there a little bit of judgment there? I just wonder that. They're gonna turn around and be like, this fucking American.
I mean, listen, you're gonna get made fun of for previous presidencies, that's for sure.
Exactly.
But it's totally encouraged that you walk around with a country flag. People love it. People still love Americans, by the way. Yeah. So also when you're from New York, you never say you're from America. You say you're from New York. Yeah. So it's a little bit cooler. But sorry for people who are in like Idaho, but all you three out there. No, but no, it's amazing. No one would ever like bash you from being from where you're from. Quite honestly, it's the opposite. Like a lot of people dream of visiting America and visiting New York. So those conversations are awesome as well. But there was definitely no hate from just being like an American. Yeah.
That's good to know. Yeah. Cause it's just such a cool aspect of it. And somebody actually asked one of the questions they submitted, you kind of touch on it, but how is the culture different from the festival culture in the United States? How do people dress? How is the experience different?
completely.
Yes.
Completely different. So I was actually thinking about this. I don't know if I put on like a weird tinfoil hat and got into like too weird, but there's so many factors I believe that may go into that. One, festival fashion doesn't even hold nearly the same type of footprint that it does in Europe as it does in America.
Right.
I don't know if that's for a couple of reasons, because some people do get dressed up and fancy, but most people there, I'll cover this real quick, are it's like, honestly, if you were looking at a crowd at like a normal concert or going to an amusement park, like people have like normal tennis or running shoes on, normal sports shorts. You'll never see more plain white tees in your life. Or people are just wearing like Brazil. You will find everyone from Brazil. I promise. Everyone from Brazil has Brazil. And like Argentina, like South American countries love representing European countries too, like if they're like smaller ones. But I would say like the stuff we see today with festival fashion in the US is non-existent. They also, candy is not big there either. Actually, instead of wearing candy, people collect all their festival bracelets and they'll wear them all. So you would see people with like 5 Tomorrowland bracelets on, and you would see like all these different festivals across like all their hands. It's almost like a Boy Scout wearing all his like achievements and stuff like that. So totally different culture in terms of that. I also don't know if that's just because online shopping is big in Europe, but not nearly the same as the United States. Like from this is my tinfoil hat part. Is that like,
no, you're good.
It's so big in the US, right? Like you made your own apparel brand. Like Europe is still not at that same stage in terms of e-commerce and like brand exposure as the United States.
Like Etsy shops and all these like small rave businesses. Yeah.
Exactly. So
that
was a weird, I could be totally off. Someone can go fact check that, but I think that's a connection there.
Vibe you're getting. Yeah.
Also, it's been ingrained in the culture much deeper, like all their clubs, bars, like a lot of people play EDM all the time. So that it's not as like drastic of like, oh my God, we're going to get all like dolled up and crazy. Also, no one wears like hydration packs whatsoever.
We talked about that last time. I can't believe, I would definitely bring the shout out the snack or sling pack, because still you want to protect yourself obviously from like theft and stuff, but it's obviously smaller. And I don't think they would probably even have free water refill stations. I feel like that's not even a thing there.
Yeah. So use Emma K for $5 off.
You said it.
So, so to that point, like cross body bags are widely popular there. So you got like the guy with like the Adidas bag on across his chest and the zipper, and he's just like in there. But I filled my hydration pack up at Creamfields in Europe, and this dude came up to me. He's like, dude, what is that? I was like, it's crazy. Lunchbox doesn't ship to Europe, by the way.
Right.
So there's no plug to be put here. But so the water stations are like super janky. It's practically like a sink area near the bathrooms. But it's drinkable. Crazy.
Well, people are drinking beer, right?
Drinking beer, liquor. So the culture is totally different than in the US. And like water stations aren't.
I love it.
A thing. Yeah.
I have to go. I'm like, I said this last time. I'm like, I have to get tickets. I don't know. I think I would say definitely watch the live streams too. Like that's the one really nice aspect that they do offer that, but you just get such a good feeling of the crowd and you can kind of see. And I would agree with you. Like if I were ever to do like a fashion recommendations, one, I would wait until I actually went to experience it. But same thing, like as a female, I would probably like, I don't think I'd wear any of my rave outfits. I think I'd just go for something almost more like for the weather. Like it's summer, it's hot, you're dancing, you're sweating. Like as long as you're comfortable and you're dressed for the weather. And you see face gems and glitter and shit, but I would not go in the full matching set. Stick out like a sore thumb. No.
Like no mermaid outfits, let's just say.
And again, like you do if you want to. I've definitely seen girls dress up, but I think if you want to, blend in a little bit more with the culture, you can kind of tone it down a bit.
For sure. Yeah. I don't know what the ratio is, but I almost feel like it was like 1 out of every 100 might have been like dressed up to like what you see.
Oh my
like,
God.
I challenge you to look at like crowds of Tomorrowland on Google Images and you'll be like, yeah, it looks kind of just like completely normal. Again, people like to bring their flags. It's like more about like representation of like where you're from and then like coming together rather than like like all these like outfits. But again, not saying no one did it. People still like
and everybody's normal is different. Not saying it's not normal, but I completely, it's just it's a part of their culture. Dance music is completely different over there than it is here. But it's good just to know what to expect if you're going into that. Somebody also asked like any international travel tips. I don't know if you have anything.
I don't know. See, I'm just so relaxed when it comes to, I would say that's tough. I think with like traveling in general is just like, one, like be prepared, have backups of like everything that you need, like passport, like printouts of passports. If you need any sort of like little mini medical supplies, anything that could cause like a little bit of a panic, just have on you. But again, I just stay relaxed and like, don't worry. It's a pretty simple process. And there's like a lot of guidance to get you to the right place. Sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one's a tough one though, because I think that's just like traveling in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you're there, you're there for the 4 days. But let me see what the other questions were. I actually wanted to just ask your opinion. Favorite stages, favorite moments, anything that stood out to you the most?
Yeah. Okay. So this is what I love about Tomorrowland is that like even in the US, like most festivals are in big cities and like areas of like dense population. Tomorrowland's in the middle of Boom, Belgium. Like, what the hell is that? Right. And you know, main stages are great to see at a lot of festivals, but we all know like experienced like festival goers end up being at like a lot of the side stages or DJs haven't seen before because a lot of the main stage ones are. But the main stage at Tomorrowland is just like absolutely insane. I don't, and if you guys look at photos, like you have a massive stage, which is clearly the biggest stage ever. And it's also in a humongous like bowl, like the stage is a bowl. Like, so you have like the main stage you have the dance floor on the ground, then it kind of like bowls up where you can, you know, sit, relax, listen to music. I remember it was like the middle of the day and like Vidi Vici was on and I was just like, what the hell? Yeah. They also have like a Michelin 5-star restaurant overlooking the main stage.
That's so crazy.
So it's just like an experience that you haven't seen at a US festival. Main stage is one. Keep in mind, there's also 16 stages at Tomorrowland.
Did you even walk around to see all of them? Or is that even possible?
The first day we went and saw everything. I averaged like 60,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
I threw out my shoes after.
Oh my God.
But Rose Garden is actually one of like the oldest stages at Tomorrowland. It has a pretty much like a massive dragon head, and it's
that one looks so cool.
Yeah, and the head moves in all directions, like its eyes blink, its mouth opens and closes, and it also breathes out like hot steam.
My God,
it's insane.
Yeah.
The headbangers love it, by the way. All your headbangers out there.
Yeah, go to the Rose Garden.
And you know what's also special is that like the stages they almost like reflect their surroundings. So like another one was the Garden of Madness. It's surrounded by water and it created like all this like nice ivy. And it was just like this beautiful experience. As expected, that was one of the trance stages.
Right.
But that was a beautiful one. And then some sort of a rite of passage, you have to go to the Rave Cave. So the Rave Cave is literally an actual like cave.
Yeah.
And you can barely fit in there, but you have to get inside.
Right.
I don't think you can fit more than like 50 people in this thing comfortably.
That is so crazy.
It's amazing because it's literally just says like Rave Cave and it counts as a stage and it's like the tiniest thing.
That's so cool. What's the one? I love the one that's like indoors too. That always looks insane. They have like stuff on the ceiling, like lighting and all that shit. That one always looks so cool.
I forget. So the Freedom is actually, that's why am I blanking on one of my favorite things? The Freedom stage is insane.
Yeah.
For anyone who's been to Ultra, think mega structure, but like way better, which is actually kind of hard to do in my opinion.
It looks smaller than because the ceiling is lower, right?
It is, but there's also like 2 level balconies on the side. And then there's one in the back as well. But this is, I would say, quote unquote, like the second main stage of the place, but it's enclosed, 2 floors. It's pretty much like an open giant warehouse. And then the stage has like LED panel strips that run across like the entire ceiling, and it goes all the way to the back of the room. And then outside of it as well, and this is what I want to focus on, is like the attention to detail that like Tomorrowland has. Like we have this incredible warehouse, but then they have like all these like gadgets and gears and like trees and like birds just moving around the stage. So it's like this
so crazy
experience to go there. But those would be I'd say you have to hit the main stage. You'd have to hit Rose Garden. You have to hit Freedom, Rave Cave. Those were the big 4 ones where I think I saw the most at.
Wow. I'm so curious what they're going to do. Like obviously next year when it finally happens, because I'm sure like they just push their plans back with like the theme and all of that. And like, obviously you have to think about, they're not making any money at this point. Like they're not making any money. So part of you is like, they're really not going to change that much probably, but you're still going to expect the same level of production and everything like that. But I wonder what changes they'll have and what the theme is going to be. I can't wait to see all of that.
Yeah. I think, so yeah, they didn't make much money. Let's hope that like a lot of like most people kept their stuff, and they also created a pretty unique digital experience during COVID. And that's what another thing I like to focus on with Tomorrowland is like, they really do everything differently. Like everyone was doing live streams and they were like, how do we make something better? And that's what they go for. So attention to detail, but yeah, I'd imagine that they're probably going to roll over a majority of what they plan to do for sure from this year. Cause I think the initial plan, like COVID last year, was like, yeah, there's no way tomorrow.
There's not gonna happen. Yeah.
It's a global thing. Like,
right.
But this year there was hope and it got pushed. So I'd imagine that they had to scramble and they're probably going to keep a majority of what they put together and just kind of coast.
Yeah. Just let it happen.
It's a long time from now though. It's another year.
Oh, I know it's fucking crazy to think about. And I think the same thing with like Electric Forest too. I'm like, it will be amazing when you finally get there, but to think like you bought your tickets in 2019, you literally will not be going until 2022. It's just like hard to wrap your head around it, but
yeah, I don't know anything that I bought that far in advance.
No.
My entire life.
Well, even like I was going to say, I recommend to everybody go watch the sets. I'll probably go do that today too. Cause like you'll see the Freedom stage and you'll see everything like that. And they have so many good ones on YouTube, but it's just weird. Like you're going to be looking at 2019 sets and the next ones that are going to be up there are 2022. It's just strange. It feels like so much time. Any last like tips or advice for somebody who wants to head to Tomorrowland? What should they know?
I think there's a couple of things to really know about Tomorrowland. One is that they have their own currency called Pearls. So this is a cashless festival. And when I say cashless, I also mean cardless. Like your currency does not work. It's almost like a cryptocurrency at this point. So you go on their site and then you funnel your money into your bracelet, and their currency is Pearls. And the conversion is like, I don't even understand how it works. Right. Like something that's actually like $6 there could really be like $20 US. I just don't know. So it's really hard to dip. You just have to be careful with your spending, because we're so engineered to like see a number and be like, oh, that's what it represents. Like that's not the case. So just make sure you're on top of that too. Remember, this is a 16 stage festival. So not only does it like take planning to see DJs, you also kind of have to know where you are. Because if I'm going to see one person I really want to see, and the other person is on the other side of the festival, I'm not going to get there. Right. So you need to be pretty in tune and in sync with your group on like when you're going somewhere, how long you're going to be there for. So I always recommend, maybe trying to get some of the stages that you're not sure about, maybe go during the day. And if you get good vibes out of it, great. But that would definitely be my advice, is that there's a lot of walking involved. So, be prepared.
Yeah. I can't even imagine. I mean, how much downtime did you have, or were you like pretty much up on your feet watching sets the entire time?
That's a good question. So when we wanted downtime, again, we would just go to the top of the bowl of main stage and sit there. But honestly, the adrenaline was so high. Like we were the first day. So the interesting is like the first day they have like a festival party for everyone camping. So Thursday that was like Afrojack, and it was actually really fun. And we got around, you get to meet people from the campsite, build a crew for the next day. And then we went in around like maybe 2 to 3 p.m. or 2 to 3 p.m. on average. And then we were there until the end, which is still a long time, but
I'd want to get the most out of it though. I feel like it's worth it. There's so much to see there too. I feel like you kind of just should go the whole time.
You should. To piggyback off that, there is a lot more to the festival. Like there's a library, a post office, like restaurants. They have like fun attractions. Like they also have like their own like Ferris wheel and rides and other stuff. But compared to what you've also seen in the US, like they're 1/10 of the detail in the US than what you see. Like it is a true experience. Like you are entering a world is the best way. And they really represent that from the things that they built to the currency, right? They built you a world. Like you are leaving the world that you are part of, and you are coming under and uniting under this temporary nation of people camping and music. And like, that's really the idea. And it's just like, no one has been able to even come close to replicating like the overarching like meaning behind it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so cool. That's why they call you the people of tomorrow.
That's right.
Your own civilization, pretty much. Oh, that's so cool.
Stick around. And it's very culty. I love it.
Yeah. But like the most positive way. Like it seriously just seems so amazing. Like it's a bucket list for a lot of people for a reason. So I think this was very, very helpful. Any last thoughts on Tomorrowland? Otherwise, I'm going to ask what your festival schedule is looking like for the rest of the year.
Any last thoughts? Not really. I mean, again, like I think we almost like covered everything. It's just like enjoy it to the fullest. Like seriously, like just enjoy every single moment and be as open-minded as possible. Talk to as many people as possible because everyone's so friendly, and it's just I'm telling you, like that interaction will live with you forever. Like I still think about like the people from like Sweden and Denmark, and I was like, I can't believe in 5 minutes I was able to talk to them like they were someone I just met in my neighborhood. Take advantage of that. Build group chats after, stay in touch, check in on people that you meet. Like you'll thank yourself. And it feels good to have like that worldly addition to my life. So it definitely changed me forever.
And are you spending extra time in Amsterdam beforehand?
Good question. So real quick, that's actually really good. So our original plan was to go to Amsterdam first. Not go too crazy, but I would love to see Amsterdam. Then to funnel that into Tomorrowland, and then we were actually going to top it off with Greece. So in my closing statement, if you have the flexibility to take like a week or even like 2 weeks, like
do it.
So if you can, this is it. Like this is it. Do a vacation after that's more low key and just like beautiful and relaxing and just like take in everything that happened and, you can still digest it overseas. But that would be my advice, is make it like the vacation of a lifetime, because it's an experience that you just can't put a full value on.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think if you're going to be going over there anyway, you might as well. And they do have I forget the name of it. I had a friend of mine, Silvio, on, and he did another one of the global packages, which was nice. Cause if you're a little nervous about traveling, or if you want to meet people, or if you're going solo and you prefer an itinerary, they have like travel packages where they literally take you like hopping from like, I don't know if it's country to country, it might be city to city, and then you go to the festival. So there are options like that if you have a little bit more of a budget, but yeah. Okay. So where can people find you the rest of the year?
All right. Well, so you'll definitely see me at both EDCs back to back. We'll definitely be doing meetups and stuff like that at EDC. I'll be staying at home base for EDC Orlando, EDC Las Vegas. We had a hotel originally, might do camping now, deciding if I can get in on that. Yeah. I know. So sorry, I hate to say this, but like I have my brother-in-law's sister is getting married the weekend of EZoo on Sunday.
Oh, no.
So it doesn't matter. But damn you. But I'm thinking of just like going to EZoo for Friday, Saturday, that weekend. And then if I bail on the wedding, you'll find me at EZoo or ARC for sure.
That's so funny. Oh my God, you'd go to ARC?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So that's up in the air. And if I can get a ticket to Dream State, I'm going. I'm going. Yeah. That would be, that's my festival list for the end of the year. Those two.
Oh, it's so exciting. It's so good to talk about these things, knowing that they're coming. So all good things. And then, plug where everybody can find you. Where can they connect with you? You
can find me on Instagram pretty much only. I tried TikTok for like 7 minutes. I was just like, I'm good.
Yeah.
But it's AY_Zimmy. And then also if you're ever in the DMs or in the comments of Lunchbox packs, I'm pretty active in there as well. I just started like saying like who I was, like when I'm talking to people so they know who's who. But awesome. AY_Zimmy.
Yay. Yeah. Guys, go get your lunch boxes, your snack and your sling packs, all the things. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes. Thank you. This was great.
I know. It gets me hype, I swear. But everybody else, or Andrew, hang tight. Everybody else will be back in just a minute. Okay. I don't know if you guys feel this way, but I was already looking up Tomorrowland tickets for next year after this conversation. I mean, how can you not? It just sounds so amazing. And I haven't even been, and I get like elated talking about it and hearing about it. So I hope you guys felt that energy as well. And if you have any more questions, please shoot them my way or send Andrew a note. Definitely connect with him on Instagram and show him some love. But yeah, I'm so excited. We're going to try to manifest Tomorrowland for 2022. I want to make that happen. It's been a bucket list item for a really long time, and the culture just sounds absolutely incredible. Everything about the experience. So I hope you guys enjoyed that conversation. Okay, let's jump into some news. So I've got a couple things here. First and foremost, it's kind of like old news at this point, but if any of you guys had tickets to Day Trip Festival, it actually moved locations, which I know was not received very well. Hold on, it's loading here. So here's the post that they announced. They basically said, first off, we would like to send a huge thank you to the amazing response of our first ever Day Trip Festival. The tickets sold out like that. Like, this is a house music festival. They came in with some heat on that lineup and the tickets were gone. So I believe yes, in the beginning it was only 1 day. Then they added it to 2 days. And this is over the 4th of July weekend now that it's happening in SoCal. So basically they said an opportunity opened up at a brand new, larger venue. So Day Trip is moving to that venue. It's the lot at Hollywood Park adjacent to SoFi Stadium. DTF will take over the massive, beautiful lakefront grounds with plenty of room for us all to dance in the sunshine with a fishbowl in hand. This change will allow us to have more spacious, improved layout, as well as a release of amount. Okay, take that back. Basically they're saying it's bigger so we can give you more tickets, because I guess a lot of people were like, what the hell? I couldn't get a ticket. So that was their whole thinking behind this. I don't live in the area, so I really don't understand the distance between that or anything like that. It sounded like they probably just wanted to get more people, like a bigger capacity, since it sold out so quickly and clearly the audience was there for it. I think people were just really pissed at how last minute it was, because a lot of people booked travel, travel, hotels, all of that around the original venue, which is completely fair. But I do believe that they're going to be offering shuttles from what I've heard. So that is really appreciated, so that you can get back and forth. So again, I don't know the distance of it. I'm sure they meant well by it, but I understand people being frustrated. We already covered Tomorrowland being canceled, so we know about that. We also have a new event space coming, you guys, for dance music fans. So Insomniac Events announced that they have a brand new venue coming to Oakland. It's called Emerge Warehouse. And it said they're going to have some massive upcoming events there. So this is in the Bay Area. They already announced that DJ Snake back-to-back Mala set will be happening there. So that is really exciting. Any of my fans out there in the UK, unfortunately, Hard London announced that the festival will not be taking place this year. It said, off the back of the UK government's decision to extend the restriction on live events, we are saddened to inform you that we will no longer be going forward with Hard at the Drum Sheds. The latest delay from the government and the uncertainty that it has created has left us with no choice. We're obviously extremely gutted to share this news with you and tried everything possible before reaching this decision. We simply cannot carry on with this level of uncertainty so close to the date of the show. All customers will be contacted. So really sorry to anybody who bought tickets and was looking forward to that. I know like the situation in Europe and UK and in the UK and everything like that is just not where it's at here, unfortunately. So that's like why part of me is like, just feel really grateful that you even have shows to go to because other people don't. So I try to remind myself, like, just feel very grateful for the opportunities that we are being given in the United States right now. Okay, what else do I have? Ooh, we have a New Year's Eve festival announcement, you guys. Lights All Night is back, baby, and they're dropping some heat. So Lights All Night is a New Year's Eve event that takes place at the Dallas Market Hall. It's a 2-day event. Their lineup is really sick. They have a couple surprise appearances that aren't announced yet, but you've got the likes of 4B, Arm & Hammer, Above and Beyond, Black Tiger Sex Machine, Blunts and Blondes, DJ Snake, Grum, Habstract, I'm picking out the names that I like, Elenium, Jay Wara, Jessica Audifred, Joyride, Loud Luxury, Maddion, Slander, Subtronic, Sudden Death. Like, you have a lot, and then there's still people that haven't been announced yet. So that is looking pretty promising. I've never been to a New Year's Eve festival, but that sounds pretty good. And the last festival announcement I'll give you guys, Arc Music Festival, which is a brand new festival going to Chicago. It is a house and techno festival in the birthplace of house music. I will be there. I'm so excited about it. I've never been to Chicago, so I can't wait. They added some more artists to their lineup. They added Channel Trace, yeah, DJ Holographic, Leighton Giordani, Lee Foss, Tony Varga, Tasha, I think. And then there's like a whole other ARC car stage powered by the Good Bus, which sounds really cool. So we have more amazing house and techno artists, which I'm so excited about. So if you guys didn't already get your tickets, what are you doing? I know there's a lot of festivals Labor Day weekend, but if you like house music, if you're in the Chicago area, I would recommend this. This lineup is so good. I'm going to lose my mind. So just come to see me lose my mind. Okay, and the last thing I wanted to shout out is that Gorgon City put out an album today, and it is absolutely amazing. It's called Olympia. So if you guys love house music, if you love Gorgon City, I know you are not missing that. So definitely 10 out of 10 recommend. It is in my New Music Friday playlist. So every Friday, if you guys didn't know, I put out a playlist called New Music Friday, and it's all the top releases in dance music. I do all genres, and I pick tracks that really speak to me and that I'm really excited about. And I always hit the big ones. So that's on there if you guys want to listen to it. And with all that being said, that's all you guys got from me today. I really, really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you, Andrew, for coming on and chatting with me. I love hearing about Tomorrowland. I think it sounds amazing. So I hope you guys are hype about it as well. Yes. There's tons of places to connect with me at Emma Capotis or at raveculturecast. We are on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. We're now on TikTok. I think that's everything. Facebook, Discord, all of the places. So you can come find us and chat with our amazing community of people. Again, huge thank you to any of you who listen. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for giving feedback. Like, I appreciate you so, so much. And I'm lucky to be able to do this podcast every single week. So I'm just really appreciative for you guys being listeners. So thank you for all you do. If you enjoy, tell a friend today and go enjoy your day. Thanks for listening, and I will see you next Wednesday.